welcome. Good to see you after some time. So where are we sitting? I'm sitting here. Yes. All right. Very good. Hey. Whose is this? Can you handle this, David? Come this side. Come this side. I think it is. What's the picture? Felician.
Bueno,
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. To my camp. To my camp. Thank you. Thank you. Felician. Shan ku kasama malole. Mungwi. Thank you very much. Welcome here. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, today is yet another important day. And yeah.
It's not balanced there.
Right here at Community House, Mr. President, we are honored and blessed to be visited by one of our fathers in the country, His Royal Highness Paramount Chief Chitimukulu from Northern Province, Mr. President. And in your quest to meet various stakeholders in the country, you've had this engagement of meeting various Royal Highnesses right here at Community House. Today is a special day, like the Munyemwemba is here. And in terms of our engagement, Mr. President, we'll get the remarks from His Royal Highness. So he's come with his assistant, or if need be, himself. After that, we'll request you, Mr. President, to also give your remarks in view of what the Royal Highness will have indicated given to you. Thereafter, Mr. President, the media have a very tight schedule. We'll be able to move somewhere there to have a royal family photo session. Then we'll allow the media to leave, after which we should be able to have another engagement, Mr. President. So on behalf of the President, Your Royal Highness, you're welcome. My name is Greg Ngoma, Special Assistant to the President, political. I will also allow the other colleagues that I'm with to introduce themselves.
Your Royal Highness, my name is Munji Havenji. I'm the Private Secretary to the President.
I'm George Mokbo, escorting the Paramount Chief. I'm Sidney Chinesha, accompanying the Chief.
Thank you so very much.
On this trip.
Right. So, over to you.
No, thank you, Mr. President, for giving me this privilege of meeting you today. Though we have met outside, but today I'm in your home. So it's very gratifying. Well, one of the things, the challenges as traditional rulers we get, just been from a long time ago during the colonial days, colonization, because normally a chief was got two roles. It's with the administration and it's the tribal leader. So the distinction is quite difficult for people to make a distinction. During the colonial days, they said we are aligned with the colonialists. And we had receiving ridicules from the nationalists. Then when we came after independence, the same thing has tried to happen, that normally, as I said, the role is to work with the government. That's our role. because we represent the government on the behalf of the people. There was a recruitment of soldiers and so forth. That was being done by the chiefs. So during this dispensation now after colonialism, we also get some problems working with the government of the day. That should be our policy. We work with the government of the day, but usually it's misinterpreted. But that's the role of traditional rulers. Anyway, we appreciate your efforts looking at the state of the economy when you took over. The economy hasn't been very, very good since 1991, as I would say. Because according to an international organization, President Kaunda left poverty level at 56%. Then after 10 years, MMD came to about 82. After that 10 years. So since then, the economy has not been very, very good. And you have entered at a period where it's so critical. So we are just praying for you so that God gives you guidance how we can go through these challenges and problems we have. But anyway, the first step the government took was taking the backlog of teachers, that recruitment of about 30,000 teachers, and then those health workers. That was a very, very broad, and it was very, very good, because that was a very bold action to take, taking into account the state of the economy. And then you looked at the lives of those teachers and so forth. So we would like you to take another step of trying to, I don't know, you can try to raise some money with those teachers who are there. They could be teaching where they are, but they are getting some sort of an allowance of about 2,000 just to keep them up there, so that they don't just stay back home. At least they are doing something. That, of course, the government would consider of taking them up where they are teaching, but they are just giving a certain allowance, just to keep them off from mischievous and so forth. They have got something to do instead of just staying at home.
Is that the pupil teachers you're talking about?
Teachers, yes.
Okay.
Teachers also are not recruited for this exercise. And generally, we very much appreciate, I very much personally appreciate the way you are taking the steps in the economy and the bold steps you are taking, which I think after some time we shall see the results. Because usually the results don't appear just at right there. We have got to wait for the results and wait. But I really appreciate the way you are carrying out especially on the economic front. And especially we have got some challenges on the roads and so forth. But since you are doing something, we are seeing what you are doing. That's the thing. Thank you very much, President, for allowing me to be with you this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, you may wish to give your remarks.
Thank you very much. First and foremost, Your Royal Highness, Kanave Samwine Luwemba, it's my duty to welcome you here as the first message I wish to deliver. We are truly, truly indebted to receive you in this community house. So we call it. We know you have a lot of responsibilities. Abantu balefu okumona bakanabesa bengi sana. But you found time to come here. We're grateful for that. And also to my brother, Mr. Chilesha here, and to Bishop Mambo for facilitating, together with my team, the Paramount Chief's visitation. I step aside a little bit to thank you Mwine Luemba for finding time to attend our daughter's wedding a few days ago. Really, really grateful for that. The young couple are extremely ecstatic about your presence, the presence of other traditional leaders at the wedding. And I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yes. I made old friends.
Indeed. And also thank you for your messages that you've delivered today. But just to pick it up from there, to confirm to you that we've come from a background of elections in accordance to our democratic constitutional provisions. And we want to confirm with you that our intent, after getting public office accorded to us by the people of Zambia, the voters, our intent is very clear. One side as a prerequisite to the second side, but this one side is to reunite this country. We're completely determined to bring the country together. Doesn't matter the challenges we went through before elections. We are now here. And it's our duty to work to bring all the 10 provinces of Zambia together in many facets, in many ways, including a decision we made when we were still in opposition to ensure that at the cabinet table, Mwine Luemba, we would have cabinet members from all the provinces of Zambia, irrespective of how the people voted. We didn't get MPs in certain regions, but luckily the Constitution provides an instrument called presidential nominations, which we applied and made sure that all the provinces are represented in the cabinet of the New Dawn UPND government. It's one, but among many measures that we're putting in place to bring our country together. Because this state called Zambia belongs to all of us. It does not matter where we were born, where we live. We are one. There will always be issues, but our agenda is clear. Secondly, on the platform of unity, Mwine Luemba, we are determined on the other side to drive development. We are intense for abantu besu, irrespective of where they live, because we manage public affairs on their behalf. We are their servants, and therefore we have an obligation to deliver development, but equitable development across the country. Chalo cha Zambia Jones, because that's the way it should be. And we do believe that others see things the way we see them, that this state called Zambia belongs to everybody. I don't wish to waste your time, but simply to say we are going to walk this talk. That's why we enhanced the Constituency Development Fund from 1.6 million per constituency per year to now 28.3 million per constituency per year. And when we disperse this money, Kanabesa, it is dispersed on the same day. On the same day to all the constituencies without segregation. And we know where we are coming from. We don't want to waste time on that, but this is our approach. But also, we know that families are challenged. Some have no resources to send their children to school, hence the free education to children who go to public schools. The list goes on. You touched on the employment of teachers, employment of health workers. Actually, employment now we are looking forward is more in this year as we manage our resources properly. Police, correctional services, Army, ZAV, everywhere. We take the same approach to what we did when we were employing teachers. Because one young person from Kawambwa recorded herself once she got employment as a teacher. She had graduated 5 years earlier. She never got a job. And so when she got it, says, I got this job, I applied. First, I didn't believe it's possible that I'll get a job without having a relative in government, having a friend in State House. And she went on to say, this is wonderful. And said, better still, I got a job without paying something. Something. That underscores the importance, Your Royal Highness, of us fighting corruption. We must fight corruption, provide equitable, opportunities for all our children, all our people. But I must also say to you, we acknowledge the role of the traditional leaders. Our job is to work with them, not against them. No, to work with them in the development process. Epela. Epela. Canavesa. And that's why we are keen, and as a party, as a government, party in government, to make sure that our government does not interfere in the selection process of who becomes Mwine Lubemba. That's a decision of Bashir Lubemba.
On that one, our President, I would like to make it clear.
Thank you.
On that one, because many people didn't know that the problem we had with the President Sata. Many people didn't know you were supporting me very much financially. So, there was this couple where even GBM had to leave the government as Minister of Defense. There was a time, Banguma, when he wanted to come to see me.
Yes.
He was blocked on the way. Then he arrested just because he wanted to come to see me, and because of that one selection of chiefs. Well, I really appreciate and remember your role you played during that time, like anybody else. Like GBM resigned, and the help you gave me materially and so forth. Thank you very much, Your President.
It's our duty, Mwine Lubemba, Kanavesa. That's what children do, decent children. But on a continuing basis, we will not interfere with the selection process. That's the job of the family members. They must follow the family tree. But we also encourage families not to fight in the selection of traditional leaders, not to take each other to court. Because abantu balupwa lumo, they should be able to sit down and resolve those, so that we don't encourage in future those governments that have the appetite to interfere. We don't have the appetite by a deliberate decision. But in furtherance of our respect to work with our partners, traditional leaders, as we do with the churches, we've taken a decision, Kanavesa, that this year alone we'll build 100 palaces for chiefs, in our quest to bring decency back and respectability to our traditional institutions. A Royal Highness's house, 2 Kapaso's houses, offices, absolutely meeting hall, because it's essential. Meeting hall is essential. And we also want to ensure that the Royal Highness are supported with decent transport, without segregation. And we would also ensure that there's water. I know your palace is a decent palace, but your colleagues don't have palaces. Many of them. We want to bring decency to them as well. As a nation. It's not a favor to them. It's a duty, it's an obligation of people like us who are put in government. And of course, lighting and other things. I won't waste time, yes. I know this slave of yours likes to say more things. Absolutely. For the Kapasos, yes, absolutely. And Kanavesa, we also want to ensure that the government detaches itself from the politicking around chief's allowances. That should be mundane. As resources allow, that facility must be availed to the traditional leaders without favoring or selecting that this group of chiefs are friends of the president or friends of the party. No, it's a duty, it's an obligation. I think all these small bits and pieces are to change the way the government and the people relate with their traditional leaders. I don't want to waste your time, but to say to you, free education is one of the things that we valued a lot. Because some families have children that cannot afford to go to school. And we've seen the effect of the free education. Classrooms are now full. We are busy building more classrooms through the CDF. Desks, I'm sure you've heard. I hope desks are being made in Kasama.
Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
We're not importing Kanabesa end desks because we have the wood, we have the skills from our young people. If they don't have the skills, the CDF is providing skills training in there so that capacity which is here is utilized and we don't spend foreign exchange. I can afford to say that to you because you are a well-read traditional leader. We retain the resources here, we value art, we create the jobs, and we supply the desks to our children. No child should sit on the floor. So the list is long. Chilefo kulandara sana, nina ndakale kanabesa. So otherwise, thank you very much. Yes.
Mr. President,
yes.
even the issue of meal allowance is part of the,
Yes.
the ordinance, just about 2018, somewhere there, children at universities were denied to have meal allowance. It was abolished.
Oh, okay. It was abolished.
That which made children from poor backgrounds to attain a decent education was abolished. But this government, Mr. President, has reintroduced it. And not only in 2 universities, now it is at 8 universities.
8 universities?
Yes, public universities. Yes, all of
it is at Onza, it's at CBU, it is at Kapasa Makasa, it is at Nakuba University, it is at Chalimbana University, it is at Kalabana University, it is at Nkwame Nkrumah University, it's at Mulungushi University, and the list goes on about 8.
Okay.
So that's what government is doing. Right, Mr. President.
Absolutely. So, Your Highness, thank you once more for visiting us. And I think we will continue this interaction. We've also taken a decision that we'll have structured meetings with the chiefs in the provinces.
Yes.
When we travel to those provinces, we'll, amongst the things we'll be doing is to organize meetings to meet other chiefs. Because here we are meeting, but not many can have this opportunity to meet. So when we're in the province, we'll meet the rest of your traditional leaders in the northern, in Wapula, in northwestern, eastern, as it were. I think the last trip we had was Copperbelt, and we met your colleagues there, literally all of them. So we want to suggest that when we're coming to northern next time, maybe we'll work through you, my team will work through you, your structures, to allow us to meet the traditional leaders when we are in the northern, as it is in other provinces.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I know that it's said that we'll have a royal court session, but looking at the weather, it's becoming dark. So,
Tabakwatama flash.
all right. Yes. Mr. President, I've been told nothing. So,
you wanted to pull a first one.
so just allow us
But we can't do one here first with the raw hands because one here, then we can do, since the cameras are already set.
You can wait here, maybe we'll start with here, later on we'll do another one from that side.